So I'm back from Hawaii, back from some adventures that, my goodness, will last a lifetime. Not the least of which was seeing Kilauea erupting in the dark. And it lasted a week. I guess the day that we were there was like the biggest of the eruptions, and then it's gone. And isn't that kind of just the way life is? But just amazing experiences and a lot of journaling, a beautiful blessing and healing ceremony on Kua Bay, which is from the Big Island. You can see Maui. And so coincidentally, at the same time, Maui was doing a huge prayer ceremony in one of their southern bays. We were doing our blessing ceremony right there on the beach. Wow. Anyway, there are no coincidences. As my 3-year-old daughter used to tell me, and she is my wise woman at this point in my life, Mommy, there are no coinkydinks. Out of the mouth of babes. Anyway, one of the things that really hit me that I've been processing a lot, because it's my thing too, the stuff I bring to you guys, I try to hone it down into steno so that it makes sense, applicable in an I can't talk anymore, in an applicable way today to you and where you are in your journey. But it goes across the board. It's everything. It's all of it. And I want to ask you to ask yourself today, who is the real me? I had somebody share a story with me. Stories are powerful. They will go to your subconscious and be remembered for the lesson they bring, even if you forget. So here's a story of a guy who kept saying, I want to have a bigger, better life. I want to be a YouTube influencer, but I'm a salesman at a shoe store. I'm a salesman at a shoe store. I am a salesman at a shoe store. So how can a salesman at a shoe store be a YouTube influencer? And because he's a hypnotherapist also, the analogy that he used was his clients come to him and say, I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker. I smoke. I'm a smoker. Well, that's your story. That is your identification that you've brought to the table. And the universe can only, it's not a punitive universe, not a rewarding universe. It's a reflective universe. It will give you not what you want. It will give you who you are. It will give you who you declare you are. And so if you say, I'm a smoker, it's going to be a whole lot harder to get out of that identity and into the identity of, I'm not a smoker. And any other thing you can think of, including court reporting, school. And I've tried, I probably haven't said it often enough lately, but for those of you who say, I'm a student, I'm a student, I'm a student, maybe the first 2 weeks of theory, maybe during theory, because you're learning steno, you're learning theory, you're learning a skill. But from then on, you are a reporter who's building her or his speed to get to a point where you can pass a certification and get out and make money. You have everything you need. You are what you want to be. But a lot of us don't own that title. For me, it's the same thing. I'm a court reporter. If you ask me what I do, that's what's going to come out of my mouth first. And when I sign, I mean, I've got so many initials behind my name, it's absurd at this point. At one, and I think it was on Instagram, I put Carrie Hewardine LMNOP because I thought, what the hell other, besides PhD, what the hell other designation could I possibly get? Because I'm just constantly learning. At this point, they send me certificates and I file them away. It's not that they don't mean anything, the knowledge means something. But when I have to sign something and they ask me, what are your initials? I put Carrie Hewardine RDR. Let them ask me what it is. I love to tell them. And then I put BCH for board certified hypnotherapist. And then IACT because I'm board certified through the International Association of Counselors and Therapists. So those are my initials, RDR, BCH, IACT. Or you can look at the whole conglomerate of them and choke a horse trying to say them all. It's ridiculous. And I wouldn't change one of them. Every day is learning. And then I bring it back to you guys, whether you want it or not. So I want you to ask yourself, who are you? Because when I go out and somebody asks, what do you do? What are you? I'm a court reporter. Now, until I can change that, and I haven't figured out the lingo yet to do it, but I will remain being a court reporter and will not be able to evolve and move into being a full-time speaker, trainer, hypnotherapist, all those things. And I have colleagues who are making $300,000 a year, which is just slightly over what I'm making as a stenographer. I'm on track to make $244,000 this year. And so it's like my brain could accept that it's possible to make 300,000. Would be cool to be able to heal and help people and make that kind of money. Because coming from where I came from, I know it's worth it. When I was in that kind of pain, I would have paid anybody anything if I had found the right person that could take the pain away, and who could teach me how to take the pain away. And I got a really good teacher right out of the chute, but it would take several different turns and twists along the way for me to gather what I needed to be able to understand how to heal myself, all the way to the point of realizing there was never anything to heal. It was only a matter of accepting what was happening in my body and what was happening in my mind, and to be able to pull that together in a way and to start saying the things to the universe that I needed to say in order to get the results that I wanted, instead of being stuck where I was. That's what I bring to you today. What are you telling yourself about who you are? Because the universe is going to give you more of that. If you keep saying, but I'm just a student, I'm just a student, I'm a student, I'm struggling, that is what you are going to get more of. You've got to learn to reframe it, to rephrase it, I saw a movie last night and the guy was calling it, you've got to rebrand it. We're not going to call it struggling anymore. We're going to call it evolving and expanding. We're not struggling. Everything is a struggle at first. Everything's difficult at first until it isn't. So let's not focus on the struggle. Let's focus on what the struggle is giving us. It's giving us an opportunity to get better, to hone our skills, to get faster, to have our reflexes respond quicker, our mental processing to be there on top of it, our focus and our confidence and the competence that goes along with all of it. And to own that I am in a process that's going to take me to magnificence. And I am learning and I'm expanding and I'm growing and I'm getting faster and I'm getting better and I'm getting to become the master of my craft. And that will take, statistics say, minimum 10,000, I'm talking to you voice people, 10,000 hours of doing what you're doing to master it. Just because you get a certificate and are out in the field working does not mean you have mastered your craft. It means you have the beginning skills to enter the field of your profession to now start becoming freaking amazing at it. And that takes time and that takes practice. Whew. So who are you really? The guy that was in the shoe store selling shoes, he said he had to wake up one morning and change how he talked to himself. And he said, I am a YouTube influencer, and I'm letting go of the thing that's been paying the bills so I can step into a world where bills aren't even a problem. I can make as much money as I want and help people at the same time. That's kind of my journey and my hurdle also. When I talk to you guys about not believing in yourself, I'm talking for me, because I believe in myself behind that steno machine, which is like, I'm sitting here, it's all plugged in charging, but it's always, there's the star, you can't see the stars, but it's always sitting here by me. I have no doubt about that thing. None. Don't you dare tell me anything about my lack of skills or speed or commitment or determination or professionalism. Just not gonna land on me. I won't accept it because I know who I am. There. And I have people who tell me that I'm just as good in the healing arts as I am behind that steno machine. But that ain't going to be the truth until I say it to myself and believe it. And I can help people all day long. And that's wonderful. And I appreciate that. I really do. It feels like giving back after not being able to find that combination of things that would help me. And for some of you, and while I've got you here, hypnosis, coaching, neurolinguistic programming, all of that, it's not a one and done. For something simple like, biting your nails, maybe, let's just figure out why you're doing it. Does it serve you anymore? Let it go. Replace it with something else that's healthy. But for the rest of it, for me, for my journey, and some of you are suffering from, anxiety and PTSD. And then others of you, many of you, are actually suffering from what held me back, which was complex PTSD. It's where you're living in an environment of survival as a little kid for so long that you are not developing neurologically the way that everybody else is. Not everybody else, but a great majority of them. And so you do think differently, you do react differently, you do doubt yourself in different ways. And it makes no sense to the outside world looking at you. Because, for my whole life, people would look at me and go, oh, she's got it all together. I was terrified. I was so insecure. I was so in the middle of an imposter syndrome of, oh my God, they're going to find out I don't know what I'm doing. And that wasn't true. But my early childhood, that was what was familiar, was I couldn't possibly be any good at anything because my upbringing was constantly being told what I was doing wrong. So if everything I'm doing is wrong, how could I possibly be good at anything? And so I fought my brain. I fought that part of me for a very long time. So you've got to own where you're going and who you want to be and start declaring it to the universe. I am a court reporter. I am. I'm working on passing that speed. I'm working on passing that certification. I'm working on getting the thing I need to get out to be paid to do what I'm doing every single day anyway. That's what but I am a court reporter. I see me working out there, doing the thing that I see other people doing, because if it's available to them, it's available to me. I can do that. I'm on my way in a journey learning what I need to know to go do that. And for some of you, you already know what you need to do to get out there. Something else is holding you back. The fear of the unknown, the fear of stepping into that amazing new expanded version of you. And I understand that fear, because that fear says, I don't know who that person is, but she or he is going to have to do more, be more, step up. I don't think I'm ready. That sounds exhausting. That's not what's happening. You are evolving and changing moment by moment, stepping into a new version of you in every second of every day. And so to get from here to that thing that you think is so scary, it's just a sequence of a whole lot of tiny, tiny, tiny steps. And when that happens, you're going to look at yourself and say, oh my God, this is not at all what I was fearing. And it feels like what I've always been. This feels so comfortable to me. This feels like this is my calling. This is who I was supposed to be. This is what I was supposed to be doing. That moment will come. Have faith without any evidence that that's available to you. I got to go take a job. And after 10 days not touching the machine, they get what they get. They're going to get a damn good reporter today with a wonderful transcript. It's what we do every day. Love you guys. Take care.